Hey guys, welcome to JPlays. I am Iceman, and this is my playthrough of Fallout the Frontier. Now, looking at the quests we've got. Alright, looks like we're going to go collect some gambling debts. Now, by the way, if you hadn't noticed, I am very much the completionist type. So I like to go around and do everything I can before I follow a main quest line to the end of something. So the plan is to do all the side quests that aren't Crusader related or NCR related. Not directly NCR anyway. And then continue on with Crusaders and see where things go. A lot of these quests are having you travel super long distances to get to like a very far away location, which is good because it gives you an excuse to travel in that direction. Okay, where do I go? Crap. Hopefully that didn't... Oh, cool. I thought the game was going to crash on me for a sec there.
What do you need?
Waste disposal. Ah, the slums. I've heard about this place. Apparently the slums is really bad. That's what one of the other NPCs said to me a couple of videos ago. We'll see. The fuck?
Sucker. I'll suck you off for 5 caps.
What?
I'll do whatever you tell me. I just need a few caps. Come on, baby, you know you want some fun. You don't know what you're missing.
Looks like you dropped some of your caps.
Piece of crap. Cannibal. What?
Leave me be. I am not one for this world. I have been forsaken. Left to rot in this pit of vice until I perish. There is no recourse for me but down. Down into the depths, where I shall never be seen or heard of again. And how shall you foresee fate? This cruel, unforgiving world of pain, in which one can only proceed through death. Yes, down into the abyss of darkness, along with all that has been forgotten. Please, leave me to my woes, so only I shall be burdened by them.
Man, that's a long drop. The thing in games, if they say you're suddenly feeling suicidal, they may make your player character that, but they can't make you feel that way. So it doesn't really have much of an effect, unless they take control of you.
Can you spare some change? Please? I'm starving. Thanks, Mungo.
Mungo.
It just is, Kevin.
That's fine, I got heaps of money anyway. Loss of 100 is really nothing.
Top of the morning to you. Name's Tag. You need something fixed up. I'm your man. Shh. Keep it down, will ya? Okay, yeah, it's fake. But the chicks down here don't know that. So just keep it to yourself. I fix things up, keep the peace as best I can. It's a thankless job, but a necessary one. Crime is a part of life down here. You take it away and everything just becomes boring. And there would be an uprising. Basically, my job is to keep the crime down here from getting too out of control. I kill a chem dealer here, clean up a whore there, kick out a drunk, free a few slaves, that sort of thing. Alright, on the caps. It's kind of an open secret at this point. You could say I'm the mayor's right-hand guy. Hardly. I'm too dirty for guard work. But I help out Jacqueline from time to time. You know her as Captain Jack Monroe, but she's Jacqueline to me. Used to be lovers, but it didn't work out. We're still friends though. Now that's quite the story. About a year before the NCR buggered in, I was checking this old grocery store out. Then, out of nowhere, this guy in frickin' power armor shows up and starts shooting lasers at me. I had to hide behind the counter, taking pot shots at him when he was reloading. We were there for hours. No, I was running out of bullets. Thought I was a goner. But my mom always said, when your back's to the wall and a man wearing a 1,000-pound suit of power armor is firing lasers at you, you always have alcohol. You see, I turned my flask into a Molotov cocktail. Might as well go out in a blaze of glory, right? It did the trick alright. The guy's sensors must have overheated or something, cause he exploded. Left chunks everywhere. It was a mess. Yeah, just when I thought it was over, one of the metal parts shot by my face. Scarred it up real good, and I couldn't see out of my eye no more. Thus, the eye patch. I didn't. Must have, just gotten lucky then. You know, I was just being dramatic. It wasn't that bad. I don't know how power armor works. Like I said, I got lucky or something. Alright, fine. It's not exactly the truth. He did blow up, and I did kill him. But he was already half dead. I just, finished the job. Why not? Nobody wants to hear the story of how I killed some random dying guy in power armor and then took his stuff. They want action, drama, romance. I give it to them. Is that so wrong? It's short for Taggart, and I can tag you from 100 miles away, even with this thing over my eye. Watch yourself. Give him here.
You lost? You must be lost, because you just walked down the wrong corridor, buddy. Nothing but opportunity down here, especially from fools like you. I should be asking you the same question. Don't you know this is bad as turf? If you don't want to get beat to a pulp, you best cough up some caps, punk.
That's not happening.
Now that's the spirit I'm looking for. I think you might just have the nails to join this gang. Tell you what, if you help us strike out some feral ghouls, I'll make you a part of the gang. Hell, if you do a bang-up job, I'll give you the gun I have on my back. I'll only give you this opportunity once, so decide wisely. I call it the home run. It only launches baseballs, but can still be a pretty deadly weapon. They're in the room just on the other side of this wall. We're gonna go in there and clear them out so we can use that room as our new hangout. That's what we've been out here training for. Alright, take this bat and follow my lead. Batter up, boys! It's time we give these pharaohs a match. Let's give them hell! Good game! We struck those pharaohs out. You are now officially a batter. Welcome to the team. Oh, and here, take this. I'm sure you'll find a better use for it. See you around, batter.
Weird. So, need to figure out how to get to that person.
find my arms? Oh, they just keep falling off. I could usually sew one back on, but then they both fell off. And now the rats have run off with them. I don't mean to burden you, but I just don't know what else to do. You really will do that for me? I don't have any caps to offer you, but you will have my gratitude. Wow, you really are kind, stranger. However, it might be more trouble than it's worth for you. My arms were dragged off by the rats down that ruined tunnel, which is infested with them. You'll have to fight your way through them, just to get to my arms.
That's alright.
I'm also not sure of what is all down there. There is only one man I know who has gone down there, but he never returned. If you do go looking for my arms, just be careful. Your life isn't worth the gratitude of a poor old ghoul.
End of the line!
Whoa. What the? What was the guy doing in there? Alright, so where's your arms? There we go. That was pretty easy. Helps when you got your own personal little army like I do.
Oh. Hey. Huh? You actually found them? I can't thank you enough, stranger. You will always have my gratitude. Now I just need to find someone to sew them back on for me. Oh wow. This is great. My arms have never felt so attached. I don't think I'll have to worry about them falling off anymore. I know I said I had nothing to offer you, but I do have these magazines. It's all I can give you, but please take them. You deserve it for your kindness.
Welcome, welcome. My name's Sam Viper, and if you're looking for Portland's juicy secrets, you've come to the right place. I can tell you anything and everything there is to know about Portland. For a small fee of 15 caps, of course. Nope, and before you ask, you don't get to know my real name. Hell, I don't even remember it.
If he doesn't remember it, then how is he supposed to remember the information that he wants to give?
Well, I usually call myself a tour guide, but I like information broker better. I'm gonna use that from now on. Yeah, about that. I kinda don't have the caps on me. But, I have the cap squared away. In a box, outside of Junk Fleet. It's an emergency thing, in case I ever have to disappear. I can show you where it is. Ah, well, it was worth a try, right? Here you go.
What's your poison? Take your pick.
Alright, now to head to the next target. Just gotta remember how to get out. Okay, she was there when I just got here. Well, not too long afterwards, so can't be too far. I didn't come through there though. Definitely didn't come through a bar. So where was it? Pretty sure it's not this way. Oh shit!
Spread the
Piece of crap. Yeah, it's not this way. This was all gang territory. That was the baseball guys and another gang up that way. I'll check, but I don't think it was this way. Nah. I'm sure it was this way. Well, not much to this place. Not yet anyway. Maybe later. I think there's 2 targets left, I think. Oh, 1. Only 1 target left.
Courier?
Ian?
oh, that's funny. That would imply I'd been gambling, something I promised my dear wife I wouldn't do. Courier, you're always the kidder. Well, that was a fun conversation, but I have non-gambling things to do. What was that you said? A charity for starving orphans? Of course I'll donate. Here you go. I think I've given you so many caps that you'll never need to come back here again.
Feeling lucky? Nothing. I'd remember a ghoul if they came here. There's nothing to tell. It's just a private room for us robots. Now, are you going to use those caps or not? Oh no. No problem at all. I despise it. It's just a random collection of overly complex rules. It's a pointless game that's horribly unbalanced. It detracts from the rest of the gambling scene. Still, I suppose it's better than tragic. Nothing better than the sound of money. You actually got caps from him. I'm impressed. The last time I tried to collect, he gave me a bunch of pre-war chocolate coins. I knew he'd be easy. Keep it up. Well, that's all of them. Here's your cut. You've taught me a valuable lesson today. Always trust heavily armed strangers.
What? Oh! Yeah, well, I'm here. What do you want me to do? This will be interesting. If I can get there. Well, looks like we're done for side quests. At least for now, anyway. So back to the Rubco Tower we go.
Oh no, the camp! Come on, we gotta help them!
Alright, before I return to Molly with the blueprints.
Ever been to Utah? Good to see you.
Welcome to the parlor, Rob Co. Towers Visitor Cafeteria. How may I serve you? About Auto Steward, version 803.169, copyright 2075, Rob Co. Industries, all rights reserved. Image likeness or copyright 2071 by Bombshell Charlie Entertainment LLC and licensed to Rob Co. Industries. Please make a selection.
Looking to see where that extra map location got added. Yeah, I don't see it. Ah, there it is. So that's what the chemical suits are, apparently.
Good to see you again. Is there something I can do for you? Yes, we won. But who knows when they'll try again. They may have underestimated us, though more than likely they were just probing our defenses. We may need to stop focusing on the NCR and start worrying about the Legion. As in my opinion, they're a far greater threat. It might even behoove us to bury the hatchet with Blackthorn and work together to deal with this menace. I doubt the Domino would agree, though. Good to see you again. I don't gossip about my friends, and neither should you. Good thing I like the cold. I heard that the locals dub it the frozen shitterland, but I think it's beautiful here. I've lived in far worse. What more do you say about the people that killed your family other than they disgust me? My 16-year-old sister bled out in my arms. Enough said. That's rather forward, but a bit flattering if I may say so. Before, I was a Brotherhood Knight, and left after the falling out at Helios 1. Elijah wasn't the only one to walk away bitter, but I digress. As of late, I'm a bit nearsighted. Too many years of laser rifles damaged my eyes. I prefer a sword now, but don't think that makes me ineffective at combat. If I get within 20 feet, it's all over and I can close the gap quick. As for my eyes, the Seneschal wants to operate. But let's just say I'd rather not risk it. She may be quite the gifted doctor, but optical surgery takes a special finesse, something scribes aren't trained for. Well, I suppose now you know we were both Brotherhood of Steel. We're not cousins or anything. The Brotherhood isn't as homogenous as you might believe. Each bunker has its own subculture, different families, and quirks. My bunker emphasized athletics and PT, so naturally I'm quite gifted in such matters. But enough about me. Do you have any further questions? I played quite a few pre-war sports, but my favorite is called rugby. Basically, you take a ball and try to smash through the other team. A true test of endurance and might. Black eyes, bruises, and blood. Damn, what a game. Might be better in power armor. Here's an idea. This meathead has survived untold horrors of the wasteland, often against miraculously slim odds. How about we keep it respectful, okay? Farewell, my friend.
What have I told you about defacing equipment?
Cool. You can do whatever you want to your dopey light sword thing, so why can't I pull up by my gun?
Unsanctioned modifications can render a weapon useless in the field. That coolifying could get you hurt or killed. Think America, please.
Nah, the mods are fine. Molly gave us the A-OK. She even complimented my artistic talents.
Guess I'm not winning this one today. Fine. But you now take all responsibility for any malfunctions with that sidearm. Are we clear?
Totally, Grandpa Clemens.
Welcome, young blood. I can offer you a variety of weaponry and ammunition. Huh? I'd love to talk your ear off with my old man stories, but I got work to do before my arthritis kicks in. Damn cold as hell in my old bones. Welcome, young blood. It's all been squared away, unfunked and polished like trophies by the mechanics. Take a look. Young folk always in a hurry, but these old bones could do with less stairs, that's for damn sure. Here's a list of the parts Jesse gave me. Bring me this stuff. I'll pass it to Jesse and light a fire under her ass while I'm at it. Welcome, young blood. I can offer you a variety of weaponry and ammunition.
You take good care.
Hey, newbie, what can I do for you? Well, let's have a look. More complicated than I thought. Uncle Sam brought out the big brains to cook this bad boy up, I see. Nothing I can't crack. Give me some time and I'll have it worked out. I'll send you a message on that Pip-Boy once I get this piece together. Say, you two make a good team. Why don't you take America with you while you're running around, newbie? It'll be good for both of you. Hey, newbie, what can I do for you?
Motor oil. That was another one. So industrial fuses.
Good to see you again. I really could use some more geographic info about the frontier. We were able to extract a map from the Robco terminals, however, it's not detailed. I believe the Old Portland train stations would be our best option to retrieve a detailed map of the city and the surrounding area. While they're not current, we can still extrapolate things from train stops, bus stops, and geographical landmarks. This would be a significant boon to our scouts and the war effort. I was going to send a scout team, but since you're more familiar with the area, that's a better idea. Head to the civilian train station east. Download a map from a terminal into your Pip-Boy, and we will make a holodisk copy when you return.
Wonder what that did. Okay, got most of the stuff now.
You take good care of
Welcome, young blood. You sure do. No wonder they call you the courier. Hold on a tick and I'll get this to Jesse.
Cool.
Welcome, young blood.
Good to see you again.
Hey, newbie. What can I do for you? All
Remember, honest words produce honest actions.
There you go.
How may I assist you? It's clear that both of them truly care about the Crusaders, but they also have different ideas for a future. Sadly, those ideas are contradictory to each other. Conflict is inevitable, and it will likely only get worse as time goes on. My name is Maria. I'm part of the Silvers. To put it simply, we focus on medical science and research. Surely you can explain it better than I. God be with you.
Can I help you with something? My tale is pretty boring compared to most others here. I was a veterinarian with one of the caravans that ran through New Canaan. I kept the Brahmin happy and healthy, checked they were properly fed and hydrated, and able to walk with no signs of soreness or hoof issues. But after the destruction of the town, the caravan left me behind. So I picked up with a band of the survivors and came here. I was able to transfer my skills as a vet into human medicine. There are some huge differences, mind you, but I'm still better than most Sofers. Okay then.
I heard there are critters the size of a bus living around here.
Hello again. How may I be of assistance to you?
I am reluctant to ask a new member to take on such an arduous task, but desperate times, things are not going well for us. We have the superior firepower and technological skills, but keeping soldiers healthy is paramount to victory. Between the Legion's blitz attacks and fighting hostile locals, supplies are draining precipitously, faster than we can scavenge or make them. In desperation, we have pushed our Medsum units deep into dangerous territory. My Sofers are being kidnapped, killed, and God knows what else. I've lost some dear friends. Sorry, I needed to gain control of myself. Where was I? Oh, right. So, that brings us to Hosford Abernathy Medical Center. The medical center is strategically ideal for solving our problems, as it's so close to the tower. But there is a reason why we haven't attempted a siege. It is home to an enigmatic surgeon the locals call Lord Putrid. He offers sophisticated modern surgeries beyond what any wastelander could perform. However, our reports indicate he may be involved in horrific human experimentation. A cruel man who does a little good to fuel a great evil. We need to take him out and secure the hospital. It's our only path forward now. That hospital is an impenetrable fortress. The external doors are electrified, double leaf blast resistant doors. Not to mention the Horde. The Horde is an army of thralls Putrid has defending his domicile. They're like human ferals, howling like beasts, and foaming at the mouth with rage. Our scouts recommended to forget this place, but again, our situation is beyond desperate. If you choose to go, consider taking some backup. Seeing as the door is electrified, it is in the best interest of everyone that I do not lead the assault nor be in the vicinity of it. It could cause some real headaches. Sorry, trying to lighten the mood a bit. Anyway, Molly has developed a tactical EMP device that should knock out the power to the doors. The EMP may fry power armor circuitry when it detonates, so to be sure, avoid wearing any. We could send some men-at-arms to aid you if you desire. Very well. Go see Hector and tell him you need the football. And be careful out there.
Good to see you again. Is there something I can do for you?
If you're gonna drink something, I recommend something bottled. The last thing you need is a stomach bug.
It's a pleasure to see you again. Do you need my assistance with something? While I understand your concerns about the Legion, we shouldn't go cutting deals with the devil. Then again, the NCR has far more intel about them. However, in light of this threat, I'll consider making peace with Blackthorn. If you can prove the NCR has redeemed itself after all these years. Oh, what do you have to say about them? And so too the serpent in the apple charmed Eve, the lure of flesh and Sodom. NCR only gives the luster of goodness, but at the core is only rot. Yet I will grant you the same challenge God gave to Abraham. Find me righteous amongst the NCR, and I shall relinquish my call for their destruction. Oh? What do you have to say about them? What is that supposed to mean? Go on. But he has. I am his will made flesh. A judge like Samson and Gideon. A holy warrior like Jeanne d'Arc. Why did I live? I failed to protect my men. Failed at New Canaan. Blackthorn killed his men while I lay trapped, unable to help my own. I'd just been promoted to Paladin. Too cocky, too callow. They paid for it. Jerry, Krista, Ben, Paul. Their faces haunt me in my quiet moments. I'm too rattled right now to make big decisions. I will consider it, though. Yes, a safe and dependable infrastructure is the beating heart of society. How does this relate to the NCR? That is a very good point, actually. I will have to mull on it a while. I don't want to snap the tethers holding this nascent society together. Maybe I am going about things the wrong way. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Very well. Let's discuss something else then. Oh? What do you have to say about them? Not transparent, am I? A few days ago, I sent scouts to investigate the old H&H tool factory as a possible site for a new project. Among the items recovered from the military base in Idaho were plans for a new type of improved power armor. The plan was to secure the factory and utilize it for production. However, it seems something bad has befallen our recon team. Please, find them and secure the factory site if you can. It's a pleasure to see you again. Farewell.
NCR patrol jumped us. They got Felix and Clara. They mentioned a prison. Find Felix and Clara. Find Felix and...
They're in a prison. That NCR prison's going down then. Unless they let them out freely. Oh. Aw. The kid died in the kid died from the mine.
About time you got here. My stomach's about as empty as my last. Hey, wait, you're not the chef. What are you doing all the way out here? Name's Jonah Church. Best damn sniper in the NCR. Now that Drag is gone. Yeah, Joseph Drag. He was a big shot sniper for the 1st Brigade. But after Brighttown, he and his sister disappeared. He's probably dead now. Shame. That guy was a real patriot. I served under a lot of generals during the Brotherhood War. Blackthorn was the only one I ever gave a crap about. When he left, so did I. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Occasionally scavs try to make their way here, but the idiots usually end up getting blown up by the mines. I got into a bar fight with some scavs. Happens all the time, so that wasn't the issue. The issue was that I told the scavs that Brighttown was their fault. That's the reason I'm here, and not out in the city pushing back the Legion. Yeah, I have an arrangement with the chef. He brings me my food, and I pay him extra for it. The brass barely pays him anything, so he'll do whatever you want as long as you have the caps. Whatever.
Damn it! Piece of shit! Yes, you imbecile!
See, I didn't shoot him because I don't want to lose reputation. They're already not big fans of me. There's the key.
You're clearly too eager to talk to me to be one of those regular guards. Besides, you're a little more put together than they are. So, who are you? A courier, eh? Never heard of you, but I'm glad to see a friendly face. I'm Felix. I hope you have a plan to get Clara and I out of this place. You can probably get the cell key off the warden. Just follow the stink of whiskey and you'll find him. Just do me one small favor. I can't tell you to kill him or his men in good conscience. They're just doing their jobs, so if we can escape without bloodshed, I'd really appreciate it.
Well, I didn't kill 16, it was my people.
Hey man, do you have any chems? What does it matter? I need chems. Fine, I'm in on chem possession, but that's Brahmin shit. The real reason I'm here is because I badmouthed General What's-His-Name in a bar. Minute I walked out of that place, NCR guys jumped me. Nearly beat me to death. I guess they figured they could get away with it by dragging me here. I guess they did. I use Jet. 5 inhalers a day. I can get by on Psycho, but I'm gonna need a lot of it to get me high. I don't know what it is, I just know it hurts. I was doing fine, and then one day I wake up in pain. The pain is constant. Chems are the only thing that makes it go away. What is this? Some kind of chem? I can't feel the pain anymore. This is the best I've felt in years. Thank you. I wish I had some way to repay you. Wait a minute. I have a stash of chems at Goose Hollow. I won't be needing it anymore thanks to you, so it's yours.
What's up? It's a sad but interesting story, really. She started life as a raider, and was until a tongue piercing became infected. Overcome with a high fever, she became delirious and wandered into our town. My pa wanted to shoot her on sight, as most do with raiders. But she collapsed at the edge of town. We were able to save her life, but had to remove her tongue in the process. Against pa's wishes, I cared for her, and converted her to our ways. Pa almost ate his tongue when it turned out she was a technical genius. She had learned to hack terminals in service of looting hospitals for her clan. Now she is our main hacker and terminal wizard. Great. If you have any more of those guard uniforms, I'll take one and we can go rescue Clara. If not, at least lend me a spare gun and some ammo.
Alright, let me get a uniform. Where'd he go?
What's up? What's up? Good. What's up? Good.
Don't talk to Clara. What are you doing? Well, I can't, because I can't talk to Clara. Oh.
based on our attempts to hack into the HH mainframe from Robco Tower, the whole network is infected with one nasty computer virus. Claire believes that if we can get her to the main factory controls, she can isolate and purge it. Then we should be able to get everything up and running. Hold up. Shit! We got company! Looks like we just hit the hornet's nest. More of those bots are coming this way. Damn! Look at the size of that green bastard!
God damn it! Throwing bots would do more damage!
We should be able to get things up and running in a day or so. Brand spanking new power armor? Here we come. Give the Domino my thanks. Come back in about a week and I'll set aside a set of power armor just for you. Catch you later. What's up?
Pretty easy that was. Mainly because of all the party members I've got with me. That's what I have to do now.
It's a pleasure to see you again. Do you need my assistance with something? At least his death wasn't in vain. rest in peace. I'll send word to have our production team get to work at once on the new power armor. It's a pleasure to see you again. Farewell. Seek me out.
Something's lagging. Just stuff. Good time to end it. Alright, so I'm going to end this one here. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you'd like to be notified about when I go about putting up more videos in the Fallout The Frontier playthrough series, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube side of things to be notified when those videos are made available. Alright guys, have a good one.